Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. You know what? Yeah, um, I'm laughing, yeah, because you see this Bruno Fernandes player, yeah, and first things first, yeah. First things first with Bruno Fernandes. I think he is one of the most. I want to say he's one of the most debated, polarizing kind of players out there, like that I've seen, yeah, because he's a player, yeah, Bruno Fernandes, that when you watch him throughout a 90-minute, yeah, it's like there's so many flaws in his game. Like he forces passes, he gives it away. Um, there is bits in the game that you look at and you think, yeah, that was good, yeah. But the majority of the games he plays, you don't really get a 90-minute performance out of Bruno Fernandes, yeah. And this is why I've titled it, yeah. Um, this is why I've titled it a moment's player. He's probably the most, I would say, in terms of moments, yeah, he gives you the biggest moments out of any player that I've seen, because I mean, let's not take it away. The corner kick to Casemiro, yeah, was actually, it was actually a good, it was a top header. I mean, the corner itself from Bruno was decent, yeah, but let's face it, Casemiro made that goal really, yeah, with his movement and obviously getting his head to the ball as well. The ball for Cunha, yeah, the ball for Cunha, you have to give credit where credit's due. Great ball from Bruno Fernandes, and obviously puts United back to Matthias Cunha, and then Cunha, good finish, puts United 2-1 ahead. And as I said, I'm laughing because that first half, Bruno was poor. He was absolutely poor. I mean, I think I counted really one thing he done well, and that was I think Man United got a corner from what he did, yeah. But other than that, sorry, 1 minute. Yeah. Other than that, he was nowhere in the first half. And what I said about the first half performance as well, yeah, is that with Bruno, yeah, Bruno doesn't give us any control in the midfield because he's playing as a support striker, and his whole thing is to just his whole thing is literally just to create and get numbers. That is his game. Because when you've got someone like him playing as a support striker, you're kind of neglecting the midfield, and it leaves the midfield vulnerable. And against better teams, we will definitely get picked off, yeah? And that's why when I said about Bruno in the first half, I said, yeah, Bruno isn't helping out the midfield. But you have to give credit where credit's due, yeah? Bruno Fernandes, as I said, he's one of them players, yeah? And I'm gonna keep consistent as I always do. But I give credit where credit's due, regardless if I rate a player highly or not. And big up to Fitz, big up my guy. And what I would say, the ball to Cunha was a very, very good ball. As I said, the ball that he put into the box for Casemiro, and I mean Casemiro, man, I'm just hoping Casemiro there's some way that he can stay at this club, because he's a massive player for United. But what I would say, man, is the header that he produced from that, yeah, don't underestimate how difficult of a header that was. And the thing with Casemiro, yeah, he consistently turns up for Manchester United. There's a lot of fans that don't rate Casemiro, saying his legs have gone. All of a sudden, Carrick comes, and Casemiro is looking like arguably our best player, yeah. Now, as I said, Bruno Fernandes, yeah, that first off, yeah, he was a problem. He was a problem. And a lot of it, yeah, it makes me laugh, because it's like it can easily be done as a deja vu moment for myself, because as soon as I, put out what I put out, he then has a corner, and obviously that's when Casemiro scores the goal. And as I said, the ball that he played to Cunha, you have to give credit where credit's due. It was a top ball. And they're the kind of things that I call assists. A lot of the assists that Bruno Fernandes gets, they're not technically assists. The assist that he played to Cunha, the one that he played to Mbuemo for the goal against Man City. Now that is what you call an assist, and I've got no problem with saying that was a great ball from Bruno. You know, are there problems ahead? Of course they are. You know, do I still believe Bruno should be here next season? I don't. But one thing I'm gonna do now though, yeah, is that I'm gonna park it when it comes to Bruno Fernandes. And big up to Red Devils, man. You just dropped in just now. And again, Gav, you gotta give Bruno credit, bro. He's better than Beckham and Carrick in their prime now. And you know what, Red Devil News, yeah? As I said, yeah, I'm gonna park it now with Bruno Fernandes because I'm gonna keep it consistent with Bruno. Like Bruno is a player that we do need to move on. He is a player that is massively overrated, but he is what you call the epitome of a moments player, you know. And when it comes to GA, yeah, that this era of football seem to be loving. Like he is what you call a GA guy, because that first half from him was poor, but you have to rate I rate his second assist. I mean, his second half performance, you know, was a lot better, but the thing is, I rate his second half performance because the first half performance was nothing short of an absolute joke. Really, he was poor, but his second half performance was very good, and that is what I look at, you know. And I think it'll be disingenuous from me, yeah, to start saying that get Bruno out, Bruno's shit. I still have my same opinion on Bruno Fernandes, and I think we need to move on from him in the summer. But there's no denying that, you know, he has got two moments in his game yet again, and that's all people are going to care about. You know what I mean? But yeah, the whole Beckham and Carrick, yeah, let's put that to bed, man. Let's put that to bed. So who would you replace him with? Big up to I Like to Sue. What I would do, yeah, the fact that Bruno gives us he gives us numbers, yeah. He's someone for me that, and as I've mentioned earlier today, yeah, the first half was poor, and you know we have no control when he plays like that as a support striker, and better teams will pick us off. What I would do, yeah, is that you don't have to directly replace Bruno Fernandes. What you do is build a strong midfield. So whether you're going to play three in midfield, obviously Casemiro is going to be going, you know, Kobe's going to be there. Whether you go and get a Camavinga, Tonali, Baleba, Walton, Anderson, if you get me 2 or 3 out of 5, yeah, and you build a solid midfield, and then you've got attackers that can all chip in, because Sesko's showing now that he can get goals. You know, Cunha, we know he can get goals. The same with Mbuemo, who again was very poor today. You know, Ahmad's not really having a great time, you know, and for me, I believe the reason Ahmad isn't having a great time at the moment is because I think Ahmad is low on confidence and doesn't really know whether he's coming or going. And this is why I said Ahmad's a player. He needs to be more involved in the game, you know. Joshua Zirkzee as well. So we don't have to directly replace Bruno Fernandes in that position. But what we have to do is build a strong midfield. But I'm past the point now, yeah, of saying we need to get rid of Bruno. We need to you know, he needs, like, whatever people want to do with him. I'm past that point because it's going to be down to Ineos. If Ineos give him more money and he stays, I disagree with that. But as I said, man, I need to know what kind of direction we're going to go in, because he's a player, yeah, that whether I like it or not, or whether the majority of us like it or not, he's always going to be chipping in with goals and assists at the expense of a 90-minute performance. And that's what I look at. I look at 90-minute performance, you know, because goals and assists, he's not going to get that in every single game. But as a 90-minute performance, you know, that is something to build off. But yeah, that's how I kind of see it with Bruno Fernandes. You know, he's a polarizing kind of player, man. You know, people either rate him or you don't. And as I said, I've always been consistent, you know, but I always give credit where credit's due. I don't rate him to the level that many do. But there's nothing you can, there's one thing that you cannot deny, and that's he does consistently give you numbers, you know. Red Devil News says Rodgers maybe. Again, I wouldn't replace him with Rodgers, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, Man United for me, I believe the way forward with this club is if we want to dominate games, the majority of the games, yeah, we need to get a midfield, yeah, we need to get a midfield that is, you know, intelligent, that all comfortable on the ball, and we can build our way into games. I don't believe Bruno gives you that. Bruno gives you numbers, he gives you moments, and again, poor first half, great second half. Well, I'll say great second half. I'll say poor first half and a good second half, which culminated in him getting 2 assists. Yeah, which meant that the Cunha one was a very good assist, no denying. Guys, make sure you're smashing the likes as you're in there as well. Make sure you smash the likes. Make sure you sub to the channel. Bro, Gav, imagine our midfield is Camavinga and Tonali, Bruno as the 10. We're winning the league. Bro, if we was to get Camavinga and Tonali and you're keeping Bruno, I'll be honest now, yeah? I'll be the first to say I'm all for that. If we had a Camavinga Tonali midfield with Bruno there, you're not gonna see me complaining too much about Bruno Fernandes. That's the truth. But the one thing I would say, yeah, is that I do believe that we need to. I'm still gonna say we need to move on from Bruno. I'm not gonna change my mind because I just believe if we move Bruno on, we can really strengthen this midfield, and we've got goals in the team as well. And as Fitz has said, a Bruno extension would be another Salah situation. And Fitz, that is what I'm wary of. That is what I'm wary of. Although I do think, yeah, Bruno Fernandes is a better footballer than Mo Salah, I don't want us making that mistake by giving him more money when we have an opportunity to cash in and get midfielders for the long term to improve us moving forwards. You know, again, Bruno's contract runs until 2027. If it's a case where he stays another season and he sees out his contract, then so be it. But I'm past the point now, yeah, of just saying Bruno out, Bruno this, because I can feel I know what needs to be done, but it just depends what's in Ineos's mind. And all the talk at the moment is, you know, I mean, there's fans out there saying Bruno deserves more money. There's fans out there saying that we have to keep him at all costs. I don't believe that's the case. I just believe that, you know, he's had 6-7 years at the club. He has been a good servant in the sense of being available. He's GA. But I believe that moving forwards, we need to go without Bruno Fernandes and revamp this team, because if we go and get, let's say, 2 to 3 midfielders, Bruno's still going to be there playing. So what will be the point of having a new 2 to 3 midfielders and having Kobbie Mainoo as well? You see what I mean? So the Bruno money and getting his wage off could enable us to go and get a Tonali as a replacement, you know? So this is what I'm looking at. But Camavinga, Tonali, Bruno midfield, and then you got Kobbie there as well. Listen, that's what I'm talking about. Casemiro man the match yet again. They gave man the match to Bruno. And again, you know what it is, yeah, with Bruno Fernandes, yeah? Him, I would say Kevin. I think Bruno's the new Kevin De Bruyne. Whoa, him and Kevin De Bruyne were both doing the same thing, yeah? And then you've got Saka in there, Declan Rice in there as well. And this is why I call these guys the PR, they were part of the PR 11, yeah? Is because what these guys consistently do, yeah? They could have a poor game throughout or have a poor first half. And then in Bruno or De Bruyne's case, if they get GA, the Sky Sports who are part of the problem, what they end up doing is just giving them man the match because it's lazy analysis, really. I call it lazy analysis because they're just the easy players to give man the match to, because it's about GA in this era of football. And that's what it's become. I mean, if anyone watched that match for 90 minutes, yeah, you would see that Bruno wasn't man the match, but he got man the match because he provided 2 moments. And this is what football's become now. And this is why I'm past the point now of just just saying certain things now, because we know very clearly what this game's all about. The Premier League is poor, and that's what's been shown in when you see the Champions League. So the Premier League's poor. A lot of the games about set pieces. It's very low on quality. and it's about numbers. That's what football's become now. And as I said, I think with the fact that Bruno got man the match, yeah. I mean, as soon as he got the second assist for Cunha, I said to myself, they're going to give him man the match, because I've seen this all too long now. You know, when you look at the fact that they're trying to show now that he's got 16 assists in one season, which betters Beckham's. Like, you can see what they're doing, you know what I mean? And as I said, I'm not going to be discussing that, because it's just a waste of time, you know? Let's just wait and see what Bruno does next season. Let's just see what happens come the summer. Because if the club are looking at the long-term future and they want to go in a different direction and be serious, then what they do with Bruno Fernandes is going to tell me everything, you know, because fans only want to talk loud when Bruno gets GA. But when he plays poor or costs the team, you know, fans are quiet. And that's the problem, you know. Yeah, big up to Exedra, bro. Big up for coming through, man. I know obviously that the time schedule's different, man, but big up yourself for coming through each and every time anyway. We know what Bruno likes. We know what Bruno likes. No need to waste our energy. Yeah, listen, exactly. Like, it's not about, this ain't about Bruno Fernandes really, because this is about Manchester United and the fact that we've got Michael Carrick. And again, let's face it, yeah. I'm not entirely happy with what Carrick's doing, if I'm honest, because to start Mbeumo again, yeah, I would have thought Carrick would have learned from the previous games, because Mbeumo as a striker, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And the fact that Carrick took him off, you can kind of respect Carrick for that, because I think Ahmad would have been the easy one to take off, but he took off Bruno. He took off Mbeumo, and you can see Mbeumo wasn't happy. So I think moving forwards, is it going to be a case where Mbeumo now is that going to be his role? You know, because you can see he's clearly not happy. And as I said, why he's not happy, I'm not too sure, because he hasn't really been playing well, but has been getting numbers. But Carrick's obviously seeing that, you know, he's not performing, doesn't really care about the numbers that he's been getting before. So, but yeah, man, it's mad. Personally, for me, I don't think he needs more money. He needs a player that can rival his place, so he works harder. Yeah, listen, Red Devil, man, I hear it. And what I would say, yeah, I disagree with that a bit, because I don't think Bruno needs a player to rival his position. I don't think it's about that, yeah. I just think as long as Bruno's here, yeah, I've never seen a player being given the freedom at Old Trafford like Bruno Fernandes. Like, he does literally whatever he wants. And as I said, he takes every set piece. He's on every free kick, every corner, every penalty. I've never seen one player, yeah, that just dominates everything in terms of the play goes through him. He's the captain. He's the highest earner. You know, he takes every set piece. I've never seen it. And again, like, these kind of accolades are meant to be for the absolute elite players, which he's not. But again, I don't think it's about someone rivaling his place. I just believe, obviously, Man United playing one game a week anyway, which is going to help them, yeah. But I just believe that if we are looking at getting 2 to 3 midfielders in, how can you get 2 to 3 midfielders in and still have Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Manu still there as well? This is what I'm looking at. So, this is what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? So yeah, would be a romantic storyline though if we win the Prem with Bruno as well. Don't think the club has the balls to be ruthless. Boy, yeah, exactly, man. I just don't know, man. Yeah, but a lot of it depends on what's going to happen in the summer. I would like to know what's happening. Big up to Reluctant Gamer, man. Big up yourself. Big up. Says, good result. Bruno staying. I don't know if he's staying. I mean, people are going to jump to conclusions now and start saying that he is going to stay. But again, man, I'm not too sure. But what I would say is I'm not going to go. I'm just going to wait to the end of the season and see what Ineos do. But no doubt you're going to get a lot of these fans now that are going to start doing think pieces on Bruno, saying, give him the money, extend his contract. He's the best player since Cantona. Like, they're going to do all this bollocks, yeah? And this is what I mean. People only want to talk when Bruno gets GA. But when he doesn't play well, or when he doesn't get GA, these guys are quiet. So I will just say to everyone else, just be aware that you are going to be seeing over the next couple of days the Bruno prop. I'm telling you now, you are going to see it. Yeah, big up gamer, man. Back to the old scene. Yeah, listen, I'm just on my way to the gym. That's why, man. So I thought, let me just jump in the car quickly and do a little stream before I go to the gym, man. But yeah, listen, man. If any of you remember, man, I first started off my streams obviously in the car, like in this setting. Obviously, I've come a long way, but yeah, nah. Listen, man. I thought I'll just jump in the whip quickly and just do the stream before I go to the gym. Yo, the brickwork is behind Gav is pristine. Yeah, big up, man. Big up. It's not too bad, is it? It's not too bad. Big up. So did I go to the game? No, I didn't. I didn't go to the game, man. No, I didn't go to the game. I haven't been to a game since I was young, to be fair. I'll be honest with you, yeah. I don't really have any interest in going to the game because I'm someone that likes to, I like doing watch-alongs. I don't mind doing watch-alongs, yeah. But I'm someone like I like watching the game, and just watching the game properly and taking it in on my own. Because I think when you watch it at a game or you watch it with the atmosphere, you can't really concentrate as much. But I'm someone, I like to watch the game properly and just dissect certain things, And again, we will get on to the player performances in a minute. We will miss Cass set-piece goals. Listen, he is, the most dominant midfielder in the Premier League. I can't think of a midfielder as dominant as him in the Premier League. If there is one, then someone please tell me, man, because I just can't think of not one player that is as dominant as Casemiro, man. He is that dominant in the air, like, it is ridiculous. It's not a mistake here that he gets his head onto the majority of chances. And again, someone like Casemiro, you wouldn't really assume that he's an aerial threat. But the guy is a massive aerial threat, man, and he consistently gets his head onto the ball, whether it's defensive or attacking wise, And again, I'm just hoping, that we can somehow keep him. I'm just hoping, praying that we can keep him for another season. But maybe the decision's already been made. I don't know. But well, it has obviously. But I'm hoping that end of the season, there's some sort of conversation where we can talk him round, man. Because what a player he is. And when people say that Bruno's our best player, not for me, man. Casemiro is. Casemiro is our most experienced player. He's our best player for me. He's our proven winner. And he pops up with crucial goals, man. So, yeah, man. Gav, what do you mean? Goldbridge said he's as good as Scholes if he needs to have freedom. Yeah, but listen, don't listen to that Mr. Bean looking guy, man. That guy chats rubbish, yeah? Again, I've only seen a couple of his videos, but I wouldn't listen to that guy because isn't that the same guy that said, yeah, that Alejandro Garnacho is going to end up at Real Madrid. And then all of a sudden, Garnacho's shown you what he really is. And this guy now is starting to crash it on Garnacho. Again, people like that don't listen to because these guys are just trying to paint narratives. You know what I mean? I'm on here purely, yeah, to talk proper football. I'm not saying that, that I have all the answers, but what I will do is stay true to my word and just talk proper football. But people out there, they just want to ride certain waves, you know what I mean? So, yeah, people out there thinking he's the best signing since Cantona. People out there think he's better than Pogba as a footballer as well because of GA. And again, there's no point even going into it because people are going to have their opinion, but it's just nonsense, really. Is what it is. You should do all of these in the car. It's something different. Yeah, listen, Titanium, man. I used to do it in the car. Like, as I said, I try and obviously mix it up. And as I said, if I'm on the way somewhere, I'll try and do it as I'm parked up. Sometimes I've been doing it when I'm driving, but I just mix it up. Obviously, if I'm trying to go through the chat, and obviously I can't do it driving. But yeah, listen, I started it off obviously in the car. So I just mix it up, man, really. But mainly, obviously, I'll be doing it from home. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So at 6'1", he's overpowering everyone. What? Who's 6'1"? Casemiro, yeah. Do you think Arsenal are gonna win the league as City are dropping points? Yeah, listen, I spoke about this earlier today. Guys, if you haven't seen my stream from earlier today, give that a check. So it was Max Dowman and JJ Gabriel. Yeah, who's going to have the bigger future for England? And I did mention on there, guys, again, some of you might have missed this one, yeah? But I actually checked yesterday, yeah? And I checked JJ Gabriel, yeah? And JJ Gabriel's dad, I used to play against him when I was in the academy at Chelsea. Because his dad used to be at Leyton Orient, and his dad formerly was at Arsenal as well. And I got a good friend that actually played against him. That actually played with him as well at Leyton Orient. So again, his name's Joe Ocriel, and that's JJ Gabriel's dad. And I found that out yesterday. He's mad. But yeah, he's someone I used to play against back in the day, man. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. I just checked it yesterday. But yeah, give that stream a check, man. Max Dowman and JJ Gabriel, the next two big stars for England, for club football, for club and country. And I'm saying this now, guys. I said it earlier today, yeah? Mark my words, JJ Gabriel is going to break Max Dowman's record. Yeah, you've heard it here first. JJ Gabriel breaks Max Dowman's record. Because next season, I expect JJ Gabriel to be part of the first team squad and get minutes. And I guarantee you, he's going to break Dowman's record. You've heard it here first. I wanted United to steal Dowman 1.5 years ago. Yeah, I hear it, man. But there's no chance of that happening anymore. Who's better, Casemiro or Pogba? Is it comparable? Nah, you can't really compare Casemiro and Pogba, man. Like, you can't compare them because it depends what you're comparing. Because when people come out with comparisons, yeah, you have to compare players that are similar or similar positions. And it depends what you're comparing. Because as a footballer, Pogba stands alone. Pogba is a generational talent in terms of a footballer. You know what I mean? Casemiro as a footballer, you know, isn't Pogba's level, but Casemiro's still good. But this, like, again, it depends what you're comparing. Like, when you compare Pogba as a footballer, you want to compare him to the likes of Zidane, because that's the level of ability that he has. You know what I mean? Is Rio starting today, yeah? Rio's starting against Tottenham. Okay. What time's kickoff? Titanium says, I quite enjoyed Dowman's goal. But you know what, Titanium, yeah? What I would say, yeah, and I mentioned this earlier today, Dowman's goal, in terms of the quality, in terms of the body movement that he done, I think it might have been Shane O'Brien, where he just dropped his shoulder and Shane O'Brien's body went one way and Dowman went the other. What I would say, yeah, is that goal doesn't happen if Jordan Pickford never fucked it up on the first goal. That's a fact. Because the fact that Jordan Pickford messed up the first goal, it meant that, obviously, for the corner, you know, Everton sent everyone up, and then Dowman was obviously on the counter. Because if Everton were drawing the game, or if they were 1-0 up, then Dowman's goal doesn't happen because Pickford's not Pickford's not in the box, and Everton's defensive line would have been deep. So again, that wouldn't have happened. So again, these kind of things, man, in isolation, you have to look at. But again, Arsenal fans ain't gonna care about that. Obviously, Clockender said today he don't give a damn, which is obvious. But yeah, in isolation, man, these things don't happen. But you have to big up to Dowman, man, because Dowman's a talent for sure, man, no doubt. Okay, kickoffs now, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Titanium, listen, man, it was a great bit of skill, man. And if you watch the Arsenal versus Mansfield game, yeah, against tough opposition on a tough pitch. Dalman's just got quality, man. His quality is undeniable. You know what I mean? So when he done that against Shane O'Brien, it's not really a surprise because he showed that he's got that in his game. But all I'm saying is that that goal doesn't happen if Everton are 0-0 or 1-0 up. You know, Arsenal fans can deny that all they want, but that goal will never happen. It was against the run-off play when Everton have committed all players forward. So it is what it is, isn't it? But anyway, let's go on to the game itself, you know, and the performances. I think in terms of the game itself, the Premier League, yeah, is becoming a hard watch. It is, man. The Premier League's boring, man. It's been boring for a while. You know, I look at a lot of teams in this league, yeah, and I'm even going to the top two in Man City and Arsenal, yeah. The quality from these teams is just poor, man. Like, I'm looking at Anton Semenyo at Man City, yeah, and Semenyo's not a Man City player, really, yeah. And I don't know what's happened to football. I know Pep took him off in the end, yeah. But you're seeing Semenyo really stay on the pitch for longer than he should be, yeah, because he might nick you a goal. And that just tells you that the quality from what Man City used to have, and this is the only reason why Arsenal have a chance of winning the league, because Man City's quality from before is not the same. Because when I'm seeing, yeah, that they've got Doku and Semenyo on the wings, it's like, yeah, they've gone from Mahrez, Grealish, even a Sterling, yeah, Leroy Sané, Bernardo Silva used to play out there. They've gone from that to Semenyo and Doku. Like, it's poor, man. It's so poor. And that's the top two teams. Because obviously Arsenal don't really play good football consistently either. And they're the top two in the league. And that just shows you how poor the league is, really. Because Champions League, there's no surprise why they've been smoked. Let's be honest. I know Arsenal got a draw against Bayer Leverkusen. But really, Bayer Leverkusen should have won the game. But all the other teams, you know, Newcastle played well, to be fair, but got sucker punched at the end by Yamal's penalty. PSG destroyed Chelsea. Atletico Madrid destroyed Liverpool. Atletico Madrid destroyed Tottenham. Galatasaray beat Liverpool. Man City got destroyed by Real Madrid. And obviously there's second legs to go. But that's an indication of how poor the league is, because when you're getting your top teams, or you know, the top four, you would say, getting battered like that, yeah, it tells you everything. And watching this game today, it wasn't a great game to watch. The first half was shocking, like lack of quality, really. Second half was a bit more exciting. And as I just said, look, Firmino and Mane to Isak and Gakpo, like that just tells you everything. That just tells you everything. Like Doku and Semenyo on the wings for City is nothing short of embarrassing. But the Man United game today, as I said, I'm looking at Villa's team, yeah, and I think Rodgers is a top player. I say top player. I think Rodgers is a very good player, yeah. But even him, he has moments in his game where he's a bit lackadaisical. You know what I mean? And then you've got the likes of who have they got out wide? Buendia. I mean, he's hit and miss. McGinn come back from injury. Leon Bailey come on. I mean, Leon Bailey, yeah, he was rated as a wonder kid when he was younger. I think Leon Bailey, man, is an average player. And he was rated highly, Leon Bailey. He's an average player. Obviously, no Sancho, but Ollie Watkins is poor. Like, I've never really rated Ollie Watkins like that anyway. Yeah, it was just a poor game, man, from both teams. And as I said, I rate Ahmad highly. I think Ahmad's a top player, but Ahmad wasn't great today. Cunha put in a couple of good balls and a great finish. As I said about Bruno earlier, Bruno was poor in the first half. Second half, you know, provided two moments. The game was one of them games where it wasn't high in quality, but United running out 3-1 winners. And I actually said it'll be a draw. I thought Villa would go there and get a draw, but maybe the game in midweek might have killed them. Who knows? But I think that's Champions League for them well and truly done now. And I think if Liverpool win today, yeah, they're going to have a tough time, man, trying to get in this Champions League now. So, yeah, it was just a poor game, man, from both teams. And as I said, I rate Ahmad highly. I think Ahmad's a top player. But Yeah, Ahmad hasn't been great this season. I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, start of the season he started off well, but he hasn't been great. And you know what I'm gonna say? Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it 100%. Yeah, I actually think Ahmad is suffering from a confidence crisis at the moment because I think the fact that he was playing wing back for so long under Amarim and now he's been restored to playing as a right-sided winger. I just think he's a bit confused. But as I said, I'm not going to start saying Ahmad's rubbish because Ahmad's not rubbish. And as I said, I think Ahmad's a player. And what you can see about Ahmad as well, and there's one thing that I noticed with Ahmad, yeah? This is why I think Ahmad's suffering from a confidence crisis, yeah? Because there was one bit in the game where Ahmad went for a shot, yeah? And he probably should have laid it off. But I think Ahmad is in a situation right now where he feels that for him to keep himself in the team or to be seen as having a good game in people's eyes, he's got to try and, he's got to try and get a goal. And again, that's a symptom of what football's become because fans, the majority of fans that don't know what they're watching, yeah, they're just looking for someone that scores a goal to start saying they've played well. And I think that's what Ahmad's getting a bit confused with. And I said, for me, if Ahmad plays more centrally and gets more involved in the game and doesn't feel that he has to get a goal to kind of keep his place in the team, I do believe you'll get a better Ahmad, but at the moment, yeah, he's not really playing well, man. He's struggling. But in terms of the goal, I mean, Lamens, to be fair, he's a solid keeper. The finish by Ross Barkley, like that is what you call a world-class finish. Because Ross Barkley's technique on his weaker foot, bottom corner, Lamens couldn't do nothing about that. And I thought Lamens was good. The back four, I thought Dallo was good, to be fair. I think Dallo kept I think, was it John McGinn that was playing out there? He kept it. Oh, Buendia, sorry, I think was there, or John McGinn. Kept them quiet. Put a good ball into the box as well. I thought Yoro and Maguire were, yeah, they weren't really in too much trouble. I thought Ollie Watkins was shocking. And again, there's one bit from Maguire, yeah, which, again, Maguire doesn't get the respect he deserves in a sense, yeah, because there's a bit where the ball got turned over in the midfield, and then you see, who was it? Was it Ollie Watkins or I can't remember who it was. Was it Watkins? It was either Watkins, Rogers, or Onana. They were galloping in the midfield, and I think one of them got a toe to the ball and took Lenny Yoro out the game. And then all you see is Maguire's experience on the cover actually cuts the chance out by coming across. And again, that is what you get with the experience of Harry Maguire, which is why I haven't got a problem with him staying there next season. But I thought him and Yoro today, there was no issue. Luke Shaw, I thought there was one bit in the first half where Luke Shaw, he cut out the cross from McGinn. I think if you remember, Watkins was up against Maguire. Maguire made a good challenge, but then Watkins leant into him, and then John McGinn was coming around on the outside, and then Luke Shaw cut the ball out and then kicked the ball off of McGinn for a goal kick. And again, the experience that those two have in that situation is what helped United get the win in the end as well. But I thought the whole defense was fine. Midfield, Kobbie Mainoo, again, Kobbie, bit of a quiet game. But Kobbie having a quiet game, yeah, isn't always a bad thing. Because one thing you know about Kobbie Mainoo, yeah, is that Kobbie Mainoo consistently, he's going to give you a consistent base of a performance in terms of keeping the ball, keeping his composure, and I'm happy with that, really. I mean, Kobbie can go to another level, but what I want to see with Kobbie Mainoo, I want to see Kobbie a bit further up the pitch, because I think at the moment it works, but I think Kobbie's got a lot more to his game, where in an attacking position, you're going to get more from Kobbie's game. And as I just said, I thought Kobbie had a great game, mispositioned at times, but solid play. Yeah, again, I thought, like, me saying Kobbie was quiet, yeah, doesn't mean that he didn't play well, because I think he did. But he was quiet in the sense of he was playing his position, but you wouldn't have noticed he was there, which is not always a bad thing. Because when you got a player like him that just keeps the ball ticking, and you know that he's never really going to lose the ball, these things are invaluable, I And again, yeah, back to Euro, man. Euro was good, and Euro's gonna go from strength to strength, man. He is. I think there's a lot of fans that are not really having Euro, but Euro for me, man, is a good defender. He is, and when the lick comes back, obviously you got Martinez there as well. You know, who's going to be starting? Because I'd have to say at the moment, yeah, taking out Euro and Maguire might be a bit unfair, but these are the decisions that Carrick's got to make. But I thought Kobe was good. Casemiro, as I said, you know, Casemiro's someone that is just people either rate him or you don't, man. And if you don't rate him, it kind of shows me that your football knowledge really just ain't there, because he's a top player, man. Casemiro, and again, his header, man. The difficulty of that header to get it past a tall keeper like Emiliano Martinez, yeah, just shows you how good in the air he is. And I can't remember how many goals he's scored this season, but the majority of them I think have been from his head, you know. So he was good. Again, Bruno, we've mentioned already, you know, poor first half, but second half, 2 assists, you know, some great through balls as well. And you can't really complain, man. You know, he second half, he was a lot better, and obviously provides the moments. Ahmad, as we mentioned already, was poor. You know, I think Ahmad has had lot better games, but there was times in it where the one thing that you can rely with Ahmad, yeah, is Ahmad to keep the ball. But there was times where he was misplacing passes, giving it away. And yeah, I just think he's suffering from a confidence crisis, man, for me. Cunha, again, got his goal, you know, well taken. Again, Cunha's another one. Is he gonna be playing majority from the left, or if Bruno goes, he plays as a number 10? Because I think he's another one that would like to get more involved in the game. But I think as it stands right now, his position is going to be on the left-hand side, and it probably works. And let's not forget, man, we've got Patrick Dorgu to come back as well. So yeah, our squad, man's looking very good, man. I have to say, he's looking very good. And who would have thought that, yeah, after what we had to endure under Amorim? Because Amorim had this team playing 3-4-2-1, yeah, and it made it seem that our squad was very thin. And all of a sudden, you're playing the 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3, yeah? And look how good we look. And we've got players to come back that are going to strengthen the team. Crazy. Casemiro's celebration told me a whole story. Extension time, lads. Fitz, man, let's pray, man. Let's pray, because if Ineos have got anything about them, yeah, they give Casemiro a new contract. They do. And again, if you give Casemiro a new contract, that would probably mean that we're not going to get 3 midfielders. You're probably going to get 2. So it depends, man. But I'm with Casemiro staying, man, because someone of his experience and his quality, man, you can't get that. You can't get that, really. It's invaluable. So I'll definitely keep him, man. Brian Mbeumo. I think there's question marks. I'll say question marks, yeah. There's questions to be had about Brian Mbeumo, you know. I never really wanted United to sign Mbeumo in the first place, I'll be honest, you know, because I think the thing with Brian Mbeumo, yeah, is that he is someone that if he doesn't give you goals, he don't give you anything else. And the fact that Carrick, which is annoying me, Carrick keeps playing him through the middle, it is frustrating, but Carrick does change things and he is getting the results, you know what I mean? So you can't really say too much. But for me, he needs time on the bench now, because he just isn't really adding anything to this team. You know, his kryptonite really was his goals, and that's dried up now. So what's his use in the team? You know, this is the thing with Mbeumo, and playing him through the middle is just not working. Big up to Jerry Sanchez says, I mean, we have to give him another 1 year. The man Cass, 100%, 100%. We have to give him another year extension. You know, I'm hoping that they're just in the boardroom thinking we need to keep Casemiro, and we can just, as I said, man, give him that extension for another year, because his experience, man, is going to be key if we happen to keep him. But I don't know, man. I think the decision's probably already been made, and they're probably not going to go back onto it. The subs who come on. So you had, I mean, Yagate come on. I mean, I'm not really gonna dwell on Yagate. He can't be here next season. Let's move on. He's not nowhere near the level. Benjamin Sesko, another goal off the bench. And I think what this is telling you, yeah, is that people are now gonna start clamoring for Sesko to start, yeah, because he got a goal. Now, the thing with Sesko, you can clearly see Sesko is probably more suited to coming off the bench and getting these goals because he's fresh and he's got physicality and he's got energy and pace. So he's more suited in the role that he's playing. Is that going to be a role that he's going to be happy with moving forwards? Like, he's going to obviously want to play more games. But the problem is now, if you start him next game and he doesn't score or doesn't play well, it's now going to be back to square one. So yeah, it's these are the things, man, that you have to look at, unfortunately. I think was it only 2 subs? I can't remember if anyone else come on. Did anyone else come on, guys? Let me know. Obviously Xerxes didn't come on, which was a bit frustrating, but yeah, I think Carrick at the moment is choosing his team very carefully, and even his subs, he's not making subs for subs' sake, you know. And I've always said Carrick really is managing the team, you know, as it's an audition for him. You know, the more wins he can get, the better for his chances of staying permanently or getting a job elsewhere. And it just shows you, yeah, that we was dealing with this Ruben Amorim for how long, yeah? And look at what Carrick's done since he's come to the club. Just shows you, innit? Cass, Kobe, Kama, Tonali. Yeah, listen, Fitz, man, this is the dream. I'm gonna lie, man. Cass, Kobe, Kama, Tonali. I'm here for it, man. 100%. If we keep Cass and got Kobe there, and you get Camavinga and Tonali, listen, I'm well for that, man. You know, I do still think Baleba needs to be signed, but yeah, man, if you get Camavinga, man, and Tonali, yeah, listen, I would go as far and say, yeah, if we get Camavinga and Tonali, I expect us to be challenging with what we've got already for the title next season. If we get them to. Mbuemo has had 10 mediocre or bad games in a row. He has. But again, that's gonna be ignored because he's been getting goals. Because the thing is, Mbuemo, I can't count. Mbuemo for me hasn't really had one outstanding 90 minutes. I don't think he has. I just think that he's been getting goals that have been masking over it, really, you know. Start Xerxes and play on the floor. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Xerxes needs to get more game time, but as I said, because there's Champions League up for grabs, I don't think Carrick's going to mess around with the team too much, unfortunately, for Xerxes. But again, I'm just more interested to see what happens in the summer, to see what we do in terms of incomings and outgoings. That's going to tell me everything, you know. Sesko is good in super sub, then I think Ahmad should not be kept on the bench, man. That guy has the fighting spirit. Yeah, listen, Ahmad has got the tenacity, no doubt. But the problem with Ahmad, as I said, Ahmad needs to be playing more centrally to get him more involved in the game. He's spent the majority of his career for Man United since he's come to the club, either on loan or out wide, not really getting the ball as often. You know, I think the stage of the career that he's at now, he needs to be going more central and picking up the ball a lot more and getting involved. So, yeah, man, that's what needs to happen. Liverpool 1-0, yeah? Szoboszlai free kick again. We don't need Baleba. We do, man. We do. If we put it this way, yeah? Put it this way. Baleba's profile is what we need, yeah? But if we get Camavinga, then don't get Baleba. And I've said that from the get-go. Because Camavinga, for me, should be the number one target. No doubt, yeah? But the problem is, I've always looked at Camavinga as not being gettable. If Real Madrid are looking to make him available, we need to be all over that. I don't want to hear about injuries because every player gets injuries and he's actually fit now. But if we could get Camavinga, just go and sign him immediately. And if we can get a Tonali, cool. if we can't get Camavinga or Tonali, then Baleba, Walton for me, and then you got Anderson. But Anderson for me I think Anderson will end up at City or Liverpool for me. But we need to go and get Baleba and Walton. You know, and then if we can get two starting midfielders, and then we get a third one to go with Kobe, which might be like a João Gomez or someone like that, then cool. I hear it. You know what I mean? But I just don't know, man. I told you all Chelsea would flop this season and we would dominate. Boy, I'm not quite sure what you lot are dominating at the moment. I mean, you got to win trophies first. Let's just calm that one, Lumi. Win trophies first, and then we can talk about your domination. You know what I mean? But one thing I will give you, Lumi, yeah, when it comes to predictions, I have to say, yeah, you are spot on. You are spot on. That's one thing I will tell you, because a lot of the predictions you're making have come right. But I think in the end, this is where you're gonna fall short for me. But yeah, you have been getting them right, man. I'm not gonna lie. Lumi's finally found the internet connection. Yeah, trust me. Whenever Arsenal win, she's there to be seen. You know what I mean? And as I said this morning, yeah, I'm still not counting City out. City now, yeah, and we are going to talk about it tomorrow. So guys, make sure you come through tomorrow, 5:30 as normal with myself, Fitz, and Jonas. But we are going to discuss tomorrow. But it's last chance saloon for Liverpool, for Man City, last chance saloon. But we are going to discuss that tomorrow. So yeah, make sure you guys come through 5:30. Yeah, we need Kammer, but think again. If we can't get Kammer, then we have to get Tonali, Anderson. Then my bro, what do you think about Bruno of Newcastle? Yeah, listen, Jerry, man. Camavinga for me, Tonali would be the perfect midfield. That's my midfield that I've got on FIFA. Like my midfield on FIFA, yeah. My four midfielders are Camavinga, Baleba, Adam Walton, Tonali, and Kobe. I've got 5 midfielders, and it's them 5. You know, and we're just destroying everyone. You know what I mean? So if we can get Camavinga and Tonali, then yeah, I'm all for that. I'm literally all for that. But the problem is, it just seems too good to be true, man. But if I see that we're interested in Camavinga, then it'll be good news. And obviously Tonali. But if we don't get Camavinga, then I'm still saying Baleba, because we need a left-footed central midfielder for the balance. And the profile of Baleba, you know, we need some sort of legs in there. And he offers that, and he is decent on the ball as well. But if we want a controller, then again, Adam Walton's a name to go for. I like Elliot Anderson. I do like Anderson, but for me, I would take Baleba and Walton, well, Camavinga, Tonali ahead of Anderson for me. But I would take Baleba and Walton also, even though I do like Anderson. But my preference is Camavinga, Tonali, or Baleba, Walton for me. Bruno Guimaraes, I think Bruno Guimaraes is a good player, but he's not better than Tonali. Tonali's better than Bruno Guimaraes, but I think Bruno gets more of the accolades in this country because he's all heart and passion, you know what I mean? And he's their captain, Newcastle's captain. But Sandro Tonali's better than Bruno Guimaraes. But I wouldn't go for Bruno Guimaraes, because we need a left-footed central midfielder of a type of a profile of Camavinga and Baleba, or an Adam Walton, you know. And the fact that Bruno's right-footed, for me, I would prefer Tonali or Anderson, because those players are more controllers. You know, Bruno Guimaraes, for me, if I look at teams in the Premier League that would need a Bruno Guimaraes, I think Bruno Guimaraes would be perfect for a Liverpool. He'd be perfect for a Liverpool. Or even, yeah, he'd be perfect for a Chelsea, because Chelsea probably need a leader in that midfield, someone of his profile, you know. But I do think he's good, but yeah, I wouldn't really go for him at the moment. I wouldn't go for him, if I'm honest. Nah, Gav, that City squad is shambolic. Shambolic. You know what it is now, yeah? As I mentioned, yeah, earlier, that Man City team right now, and guys, there's no surprise, yeah, why Erling Haaland's struggling. Remember I mentioned this before, yeah? Is there any surprise Erling Haaland's struggling, yeah, since Semenyo's has been in the team? Are we actually surprised? And this is what I'll tell you, yeah? This is why balancing football is crucial. Because Erling Haaland, yeah, is just a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer. He's not a great footballer, but he gets goals. The very fact that Semenyo's come to the club, yeah, and Semenyo is really in the team because he's got physicality and he gets goals, has taken away from Erling Haaland, because Erling Haaland is used to playing with creators around him. And this is why I always use the comparison, yeah? You would never play a front three of Haaland, Rashford, and Mo Salah, because those three, especially especially Salah and Rashford, those two are shoot first players. And then if you got three of them players that at their clubs, at Liverpool, Man United, and at Man City, you know, in their head, they want to be the top goal scorer. So that balance would never work. And that's what's going on at Man City. You've got Semenyo, who's been brought in for his physicality. And there's no surprise in why he's been getting goals, but Haaland hasn't. And I did predict this, even though I said the Semenyo signing, you know, is going to be beneficial to Man City. If Haaland's not scoring, then Semenyo might chip in. But I never at once thought that Pep would be using Semenyo as often as he does. And it's very evident. As soon as Cherky come onto the pitch yesterday, he created a goal. He created a chance for Haaland. And Haaland's been dying for that, yeah? But with Semenyo, Semenyo isn't that kind of player. And again, watching Semenyo play at the Bernabeu as a number 10 is some of the worst things that I've ever seen. I can see what Pep was doing, yeah? But I'm sorry, it's like you don't play a Semenyo as a number 10 at the Bernabeu. You just don't do that. Because Semenyo isn't that type of mercurial quality kind of player. And it killed Man City for me, you know? But I think Man City's squad, yeah, they're missing Gavardio. Gavardio is a top player. And not to mention, Gavardio pops up with crucial goals as well. You know, he's a top player, Gavardio. Since he's been at the team, they haven't been the same. And again, they've more or less got everyone else available now. I think Gavardio is the only outstanding one that's not playing. But everyone else is back into the squad, you know. But I think their squad as a whole is good. But yeah, their lineup is just, I mean, Bernardo Silva, centre midfield. Rodri's coming back off injury. Semenyo and Doku on the flanks is crazy, man. I mean, he needs to be playing Savinho for me. Because Savinho for me is better than Semenyo and Doku. But again, man, this is where football's gone now. It's that physicality. You know, Marmoush, again, has shown what he can do in a central position. But because Haaland obviously has the numbers, you know, and is on the big contract, you know, Marmoush has to play out wide, you know what I mean, or not play at all. And that's the problem, man. Like, Man City have numbers, but there's certain players that are playing and others having to make do, really. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. Gav, you have to pick, if you have to create a Prem 6 aside, but can only pick one player from each of the big six. Yeah, okay. So if you're looking at Man City, Ryan Cherky. Arsenal, I'd take Urian Timber. So Timber and Cherky. Who's the other team? Man United, Joshua Zirkzee. So Timber, Cherky, Zirkzee. Chelsea, Moises Caicedo. Who's the other team? Liverpool. Liverpool, I would take probably Van Dijk. Yeah, probably Van Dijk. So I'm trying to think of the balance of the team. Because Xerxes would be the target man striker, and then I'd have Cherky. I think I'm missing out another team actually. Are we including Tottenham in that? If we're including Tottenham, yeah, then it's difficult. If it's Tottenham, so I've got Xerxes as a striker. We've got Cherky floating, Timber, Van Dijk, Moises Caicedo in the midfield. So I need someone to play on the left. So I got and a keeper as well. Oh, keeper. Guys, I'm stuck here. Let me know what, because I'm just trying to think of the teams I've done already. Let me come back to it. Saving for Palestine says, do you rate Bruno now? Bro, what is your fascination with me and not rating Bruno? Listen, I give flowers where flowers are due. Yeah? Bruno for me, we still need to get rid of him at the end of the season. Yeah? We still need to revamp this midfield without him. But the first half, he was poor. Second half, especially the goal for Cunha, you give credit where credit's due. That was a great ball. And he played a great ball to Sesko as well. But if you want me to come on there and start saying I rate Bruno, it's not going to happen, bro. It's just that simple. Like, it's just that simple, man. Like, I don't rate Bruno to the level that a lot of fans do. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know? And I can give you reasons why. But it's not about Bruno, man. He put in a very good second half performance to help us over the line. And that's what matters. So, Alisson, Romero, James, Rice, Cunha, Haaland is mine. Okay, so let me focus it off the team. So you've gone Liverpool, yeah? So I would, okay, let me change it now actually, because I need to get a keeper in there. So I would go I'm trying to think now. Yeah. Do you know what? That means I can't pick. What's his name, actually? This is difficult. Do you know what? I'm going to change it, yeah? I'm going to go Vicario in goal, because if it's one player from each team, Vicario in goal. I'm going to go Van Dijk. I want to put Reece James in, but I'm going to put Caicedo. So I'll go Vicario in goal, Van Dijk, Urian Timber, Moises Caicedo, Ryan Cherky, Joshua Xerxes. Because Ryan Cherky and Joshua Xerxes will provide the quality. Yeah. Caicedo is basically an engine and can do a bit of everything. Van Dijk can organise at the back. And Urian Timber is a good defender and can go up and down the flanks, or he can fill in defence as well. And then you've got Vicario, because I have to pick a keeper. So yeah, Vicario, Timber, Van Dijk, Moises Caicedo, Cherky and Xerxes. Yeah. So Casemiro has more goals in the Premier League than players Omar Marmoush, Cody Gakpo, Bukayo Saka, Anthony Gordon, Ryan Cherky, Gabriel Martinelli, Jeremy Doku, Dominic Szoboszlai, and Bernardo Silva. But again, doesn't get spoken about. Bukayo Saka's on 300 grand a week, by the way. So Bukayo Saka is the highest paid player on that list as well. So Fitz is saying, Ah, Donnarumma. Oh, I forgot about him, you know. Big up Fitz, man. Big up. That's a sick team. Donnarumma, Delict, Rice, Palmer, Simons, Ekatike. I hear it. But the thing is, the reason why I'm going Caicedo rather than Rice is because Caicedo, for me, can do what Rice does. And he's better on the ball. So, but yeah, Cole Palmer is either Reece James, Caicedo, or Palmer for me. Kinski, you know, Kinski. Gav, what do you have to say about Bruno Fernandes record breaking? What do I have to say? Listen, if it comes to personal accolades for himself, that's good. But what has he done what has he done for the team as an accolade? Have we won Champions Leagues? No. Have we won Premier Leagues? No. I think we won the odd FA Cup. So yeah, as I said, when they're putting all these stats out for Bruno, it don't really surprise me. The guy literally, like, he's been given the keys to Old Trafford. Like, as I said before, he takes every set piece, and again, there's penalties in there, so we shouldn't really be surprised if he is getting GA. You know what I mean? But the main thing that I'm concerned about with Bruno is why is he not taking us to winning more cups, league title with those numbers? But people are just gonna say, "Oh, it's the team." There's always an excuse for Bruno. Like, I'm just not here for it, man. This weather's a joke, man. Look at it. But it's not his fault. Yeah, but I knew, Jerry, I knew you'd be saying that. It's not his fault. So whose fault is it then? Whose fault is it? I'm looking forward to this Champions League on Tuesday and Wednesday. I ain't gonna lie, man. Lumi, what are you predicting for Arsenal on against Bayer Leverkusen? What are you predicting? Guys, make sure we're smashing the likes. Make sure we're subbing to the channel as well if you're new in here. And make sure you share the channel. 2-0, yeah? Havertz again. Okay. 2-0, 2-0 Arsenal. Yeah, do you know what? That's probably a fair result, if I'm honest. That's probably a fair result. Although, though, yeah, I think if you guys win the game, it's going to be by the odd goal if you do win it. Because I don't think you can write off Bayer Leverkusen. Because Bayer Leverkusen, for me, I believe, I'm not sure if their league game was today or yesterday, but I'm pretty confident that they would have changed the majority of their 11. If anyone knows, then Fitz is going 1-0 Leverkusen. I hear it, Fitz. I hear it. And guys, what you need to remember as well, yeah? I know Arsenal won 2-0 yesterday, yeah? But let's not forget, that wasn't really a 2-0 game. It wasn't. It was a mistake from Pickford, which, to be fair, he owes his team because that was a poor mistake. And the Max Dowman goal never happens if Everton are not chasing the game. So really, that game was a 0-0, really. I just wish Bruno Fernandes could retire and give us EPO at least. He's not going to do that, man. He's been there for 6-7 years. But again, he's going to be absolved of any blame because he gets GA. This is what it's about, isn't it? As I said, he's going to be absolved of any blame because he gets GA. And as long as that, as long as he's here, you know, people are just going to be saying he's our best player, he's this, he's that. You know what I mean? That's all that's going to happen, really. So, oh, Lumi, what's happened? You've what's happened with you today, man? You've changed your tone. I hear it, Gav. We got lucky yesterday. I'm starting to think you're coming around now, Lumi. We got lucky yesterday. I never thought you'd be saying that, I'll be honest. We haven't performed well for a while, but we keep getting lucky wins. And again, that is what matters at this stage of the season. That is what matters at this stage of the season. You know, I think if you guys keep scamming results, then you know what I mean. It's the business end of the season, man. Like that's all that matters, really. You know, but I am gonna say the way that you guys have been playing, you guys are gonna come unstuck very soon, because there's no way that this scumbagging that you guys have been doing, it cannot get you 4 trophies. It cannot, you know what I mean? But listen, the fact that you guys are picking up 3 points in the league, again, man, you guys are yeah, you guys are doing what you got to do. Big out to Foxy Danny. Make sure you smash the like when you come through as well. Yeah, listen, we got the 3 points, man, and as I said, I thought it'd be a draw today. I thought it'd be a draw, but we got the 3 points. And yeah, Carrick rolls on, man. Carrick is yeah, Carrick's just doing what Carrick does, like putting himself in the frame for the job. Arsenal have already won the league this season, no doubt though. I just wish them good luck. Do you know what? I wouldn't go that far yet. I think they're definitely in the driving seat. But the one bit of carrot, yeah, that Man City are holding on to, yeah. If Man City never had the game in hand, or the fact that they still had to play Arsenal, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, I think it's nailed on, man, that Arsenal winning this title. But City are going to be looking at, they've got 6 points to claw back on Arsenal, and that means winning the game in hand and beating them. But again, they're now relying on other teams to take 3 points off of Arsenal. This is what it is now, and them having a flawless end to the season. That's what they're in now. And the thing is now, yeah, is that City have got 2 tough games coming up, yeah. They've got Real Madrid in the return leg in the Champions League. That's game over. And then they've got Chelsea away straight after. So it could be all over by the Chelsea game, because I think if they don't beat Chelsea, and obviously Arsenal are playing Bournemouth, then I would say, do you know what? Yeah, I think Arsenal got this league title now. So again, Man City cannot afford any slip-ups now. But they've got at least a little carrot to dangle onto, knowing that they've still got to play Arsenal and they've got the game in hand. And they're going to be hoping that someone can at least beat Arsenal and take points off. So yeah, this is what it's going to come down to for me. Rio playing well, Gav, just dribbled past 2 players in a row. Listen, Rio's a good player, man. He's a very good player. You know what I mean? 17 years of age. You know, he's going to be part of the future for England for sure. You know, I mean, England's future's looking bright, man. You've got Rio, you've got Dowman, JJ Gabriel. Listen, it's looking promising, man. I will say. If Arsenal scam a league one time can cope with it, anything more than a domestic double, and I'll lose faith in football altogether. But Fitz, listen, man, they've got Man City. I'm telling you this now, yeah. Man City beat them in the Carabao Cup final. They'll beat them. They'll beat them in the Carabao Cup final. I promise you. They'll beat them. Could Rio or Dalman crash the World Cup squad? No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. The reason they won't crash the World Cup squad is because there's too many attackers that, if we're talking about the likes of Jude Bellingham not going, yeah, then they're not going to bring in a Dalman or a Rio and not have Bellingham there. So, yeah, them guys are not even in the under 21s yet. So that will be their next step. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because if you look at the wide players that England have to choose from, yeah, you've got Palmer, you've got Saka, you've got Madueke, you've got Bowen, you've got so if you're looking at left and right and the 10s, yeah, you've got Palmer, Madueke, Saka, Bowen, Eze, Morgan Rogers, Gordon, Rashford, Gibbs White. that's 9 players already, yeah? And there's probably other players that will be ahead of them, like Hudson-Odoi, you got Sancho, obviously, who should be there for me, but it's not going to happen. Grealish is out injured. So, yeah, it's not going to happen, man. It's definitely not going to happen. But big up to Babs One Diva. Big up yourself. Who said 1-0 Leverkusen at the Emirates? Fitz, I expect better from you, mate. Listen, Clockenders, man. I rate the confidence. I rate the confidence. Gordon deserves a call up. Yeah, Gordon's going to go, though. He's going to go. He's going to be one of the left-wing options. He'll go. I don't rate Gordon like that, but he's going to go. Yeah, I hear it. Young players going to tournaments usually have to be massive standout talents that start week in, week out, i.e. Yeah, exactly. You look at Yamal, you look at Rooney, Owen. I mean, who else has there been? There ain't really been too many, have they? Players that are like 16, 17. It's not really been too many. You know what I mean? So even Messi. I mean, when did Messi play his first tournament? You know what I mean? I can't remember when Messi played his first tournament. But yeah, man. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I don't think yeah, but I said I don't think they're definitely not gonna go, man. What team do you support? Manchester United, the one and only. So yeah, man, we're looking good at the moment, United, man. We are. And Champions League football for me is a guarantee now, man. It's a certainty for me. And yeah, man, we just need to go and get to work next season, get the right players in, and then we can just start looking up, man, as I said. Yeah, listen, Footy, man. Great win, great win today. It was, man. It was. I predicted a draw, to be honest with you, but the fact that we got the 3 points is good, man. Is good. And as I said, we're playing 1 game a week, man, so we should be picking up these kind of results. And you know, Villa might be tired, but it's just a routine victory, really. But we were poor in the first half. But Aston Villa have dropped off massively. And again, Aston Villa dropping off, man, is coincided with the loss of Kamara and Tielemans. Like, I believe if those two are still fit, I don't believe Villa are in this position. I think Villa are probably... I'll go far and say Villa are probably still challenging for the title if those two are fit. But they've been a massive part. Obviously, McGinn was out as well. He's now back. But those two were crucial for their midfield. So, yeah, man, it's been mad. Freddie Adu. Oh man, if you remember Freddie Adu, the 14-year-old wonder kid, that guy, man, that was the guy that everyone used to sign on Champ Manager. DC United, if you know, yeah. He was 14, left-footed 10 a winger, and then he got found out just how shit he was. Like but listen, yeah, Dalman's good. Dalman is good. But when I'm hearing, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Mamba, yeah? I swear Mamba said to me that he's going to reach Lamine Yamal levels. Like, one of the most idiotic comments I've ever seen. You know what I mean? But you know what it is? Rodgers is a bit hit and miss, you know? I like Rodgers, but there was a stat they showed you. I think Rodgers has got 1 goal in his last 11 games, I believe, or 12 games. So he's dropped off. And I think him dropping off has been coincided with the loss of Tielemans and Kamara. So, yeah, man. It's just mad because I've watched him for years. Only now he's getting his spotlight shone on him. Yeah, listen, Dalman's a good player, man. He's a good player. He's a good player, man. But as I said this morning, how he, like, this is where the levels are gonna be, yeah. If people are looking at Dalman, yeah, as being, you know, a generational talent, yeah, generational talents will be starting games right now. This is what people have to realize, yeah. When you look at the likes of Yamal, Rooney, Owen, Pogba, all these young talents, even man's like Ansu Fati, these kind of guys, yeah, when they were like 16, 17, these guys were starting week in, week out. And my thing is, Dalman is good enough to be starting, yeah? But the very fact that you've got Bukayo Saka, who's just been paid 300 grand a week, and now what Arteta's trying to do now with Saka, yeah? He's trying to play Saka infield because he knows that giving him that new contract, he's got to justify Saka's selection in the team. And then you've got Madueke, who's arguably been more effective than Saka. He cost about what, 50, 60 million. So now how do you get Dalman in there? And then you've got Martinelli, who's on 180, who's crap. Trossard, who signed a new contract, he's crap. Eze, obviously, was a new signing at 60 mil. So again, the fact that Dalman is only 16, if he's generational, yeah, he would have to be starting games. But we know Arteta's not going to start him games in the running, Champions League or League, because he knows that, you know, it's pressure time. And he can't afford to put in Dalman ahead of those players because those players are more experienced. You know, the difference is Yamal was a bona fide starter for club and country at 16. You know, he made his debut at 15. You know, tell me a player that has been instrumental for their club and country at 16. Go and tell me a player, because there hasn't been one. Told you about Unai, fraud. Oh, that's harsh, man. That is harsh. What's this? Mbappe versus Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Bellingham, ever come in Prem? Boy, I mean, the only one that's likely to come Premier League out of them three is Jude Bellingham. And that's because he fits the hustle and bustle play of the Premier League. But Mbappe is going to be at Real Madrid for... I mean, Mbappe's what now? He's like 26, I think now, 27. Mbappe's going to be there into his 30s. Vinicius Jr.'s next move is either going to be Saudi or a PSG, I'll probably say. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Bellingham's the only likely one because of the kind of player that he is. Like, he's, you know what I mean? He's someone that's just, he's just got physicality, you know what I mean? So yeah, he's probably the only one, really. Gav, did your spine tingle too when the Emirates erupted after Dalman goal? Was a special moment? Nah, man, not really, man. Did my spine tingle? Why did my spine tingle? The goal never would have happened if it wasn't for Pickford. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's a great moment for Dalman. Let's get it right, yeah. But I've already told you, JJ Gabriel's breaking his record next season. You've heard it here first. I told you this morning, JJ Gabriel is going to break his record next season. I promise you. Because once JJ gets into this first team squad, listen. Bruno, 2 assists. Where would you be without him, eh? Mid-table. Without Bruno Fernandes, we'd probably be... Yeah, 3rd or 4th. Yeah. Maybe even higher. Who knows, man? You know what I mean? Saka has been disappointing this season. Ah, Lumi Rain. Where you going with this Saka criticism now? You was the one that was telling me he was top 10 in the world. Or was that Clockenders? What's going on there? Who's bullying who? I'm just catching up on the chat. Listen, don't do that, Lumi. Don't do that. Who's JJ play for? Listen, let's not do that. Yeah, I'm lost with the what's going on there. What's going on there? Who's bullying who? I can't see this. Bro, you can't be... How can you be bullying in your comments, man? Like, just hold your ground, man, and just You know what I mean? If you know your football, man, then hold your ground and tell these people where to go, man. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. You know what I mean? That's what it's about, man. You can't be getting bullied in your comments, man. That's impossible. Gav, so basically some people in my comments, in my video are bullying me. What are they saying? Because I can guarantee you what it is, yeah? You're probably saying something that the general consensus don't agree with. That's usually what it is. That's usually what it is. Like, but again, if you know your stuff, man, you can't be bullied. It's impossible. What are they saying? What are they saying? F off, and you're so bad at editing because I make football edits. I'll tell you the one thing to say to them, 40, yeah? Just say to them, yeah, that well, the very fact that they're watching your content anyway, it means that, you know, like, it doesn't make sense. Because if you was that bad, why are they watching you, for one, yeah? Secondly, the reality is, yeah, that these people that are saying these things, it usually means they ain't really got much going on with their own life. That's all it is, man. Like, just brush it off, man. Like, at the end of the day, look at it this way, yeah? If there's people out there hating on you, it usually means you're doing something right. Look at it like that. You know what I mean? Guys, how's everyone's Sunday been today? How's it been today? I'm going to shoot off to the gym in a bit. Been a good week, Gav. City had a nightmare and United won. I hear it, man. I hear it. Yeah, bro. I mean, this City thing, I ain't too sure though, I'll be honest. I can't have Arsenal win this league, man. You know, the only reason why I can't have Arsenal win the league, yeah, is the fans. That's the truth. The fans and the football. But if they win the league, man, then listen, it's been 7 years too late, but you have to just say, look, it was due, man. You had 7 years of Arteta, but let's see what happens, innit? Gav, was you at the game? Yeah, I was, man. I was at the game, man. Yeah, I was at the game. Poor first half, and then second half, a lot better. Gav, don't you want it for me? Listen, you've been coming out with some reckless comments. Remember when you said to me that Mason Mount, yeah, is on par with JJ Okocha? Like, don't think I've forgotten that. That is arguably the worst comment you've said, Lumi. JJ Okocha and Mason Mount. Like, I never thought JJ, yeah, would have the career he had to be mentioned in the same breath as Mason Mount. Impossible. Never heard that. You know, I know Mason Mount's from your neck of the woods as well, man, in Portsmouth, but that is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Mason Mount and JJ. The best thing we need to do, yeah, is get rid of that guy, yeah, and take number 7 off his back. And let's not forget as well, Lumi, yeah, remember when you said that Mason Mount makes the World Cup squad? I'll have my money right now. Let me know where to send my bank details, man, and just transfer that to me right now, because that's just not happening. Blasphemy, exactly. I think it's worse than that, Fitz, man. Worse than that, man. So, oh, you're giving up with Mount now, yeah? Okay. You're giving up now. Nah, listen, I ain't giving up. I want my money. Send that over pronto, man. Come on. Send it over. Dalman is good, but Arsenal fans are acting like he's Messi after a tapping. Yeah, but again, my goat, listen. Let them do that, man. These guys have been starving. Remember, these guys haven't won a league title for 20 plus years. So when they're gonna get a Dalman, yeah, they're gonna just milk it till the cows come home. I'm telling you. So if they're gonna say Messi's better, if they're gonna say Dalman is gonna be better than Messi, hell, they might even say Dalman's gonna be better than Pele. Let them run with that. Or Maradona, let them run with that, because it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. You know what I mean? So you are gonna get all sorts of nonsense. You know, it's the same fan base that told me that Saka's top 10 in the world. You know what I mean? So if they are gonna start saying all that, then yeah, let them run with it, man. Just let it go through one ear and out the other, man. That's it. Go. He did two players at halfway to get that tapping. To be fair, the body swerve on O'Brien was very good. You know, he done something very similar against Mansfield as well. And that O'Brien looks like a Mansfield player anyway, so I'm not really counting that one. But the goal never would have happened, man, if Everton didn't concede the first one. So, you know. Everyone's been very poor this season. Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United. Nobody cares if Arsenal win it. Boy, tell that to Lumi Rain, man. Tell that to Clockenders. Tell that to Mamba. I'm surprised Mamba's not in there. You know what I mean? Because he's someone that's just been chatting too much. But listen, man, they're in the driving seat, and that's what matters, isn't it? Yeah, the league is poor, man. Champions League showed you everything about the league. Yeah, it's been very poor. You know what, Rob? Yeah, I'm bored of saying who's gonna go, who's gonna stay. Like, I just want to see. I just want us to get Champions League football, and then we can judge what's gonna happen with the incomings and outgoings. That is literally all I'm concerned about. Me personally, I just want this season to come to an end, because it's been a shit season for football, and I'm just more. I want to watch the World Cup, man. The World Cup for me, I'm looking forward to that. You know, every 4 years, I'm looking forward to that. So I just want this season to be done, you know, and then we can look forward to the World Cup, and then next season in the summer we can see what United are on. That is what that's what I'm focusing on. You know, this league season's been terrible, man. It's been one of the worst seasons to watch football. You know, long ball, set piece, corners, like it's mad. So yeah, man. Carrick has got them going. I hope he gets it, but I don't know if Carrick will attract big players. Yeah, listen, man. I don't think we should be counting out Michael Carrick, man. Like, the good thing what I like is that we're buying players for the club, you know, rather than buying players for the manager. And the fact Carrick's an interim, you know, and you can clearly see that Carrick's is there as a coach. So the players that they're identifying are for the long-term future of the club, and that's what should be happening anyway. You know, big clubs like Man United should never be buying players for the manager. Like, that is just dumb. You don't buy players for the manager. You don't do that. You buy players that are a long-term vision for the club, where multiple managers can use them. That's what should be happening. So let's see what happens, innit? Whether it's Carrick or not, I mean, Carrick is doing a very good job of putting himself in the frame. But let's just wait and see, man. Because a lot of people are gonna have their opinions in it, and at the end of the day, man, it's gonna be down to Ineos, innit? You know. But guys, listen, I'm gonna wrap it up anyway. I'm gonna hit the gym. So yeah, listen, big up yourselves for coming on each and every time. We are gonna be back tomorrow, guys, at 5:30. So obviously a normal stream with myself, Fitz, and Jonas. So yeah, we are gonna get into some Man United talk, some Liverpool talk, and obviously just all the news over the weekend. So yeah, make sure you guys come. Yeah, big up Lumi, man. Big up to yourself each and every time. So yeah, make sure you guys come and tune in tomorrow at 5:30 for our usual stream, and yeah, we can get into some more discussions. And guys, if there's anyone that wants to jump on the stream on Wednesday, we are going to do a live watch along for one of the Champions League games, but we're also going to do our all-time 11. So we're going to be moving on to Chelsea. So we've done Man United, we've done Liverpool, we've done Arsenal. We done Man City last week, and now we're going to do Chelsea, and then after Chelsea it'll be Tottenham, and then we're going to be moving on to La Liga. So again, if there's anyone that wants to jump on the stream with myself and with Fitz, and I think Jonas might come on, I'm not sure yet, let me know as soon as you can, and obviously I can send you the link for the discussion. So it's going to be a good one. Chelsea's all-time 11 we're going to be doing. So as I say, if there's anyone that wants to jump on, let me know in the comments after the stream's ended, and then obviously we can get sorted out getting you guys on the stream as well. But yeah, other than that, big up to yourselves each and every time. Make sure you smash the like button on your way out. Make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure you share the channel on all your social media platforms. And yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow at 5:30. And then obviously, hopefully on Wednesday as well. Big up yourselves. Take it easy.